Okay, 7th grade. We're doing 5.2, rates and unit rates. You need to work on the warm-up. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. So, we are going to go over rates and unit rates. Somebody tell me, what is a rate? Go ahead, Elliot.
A ratio of two quantities using different units.
Correct. So, ratio is the key word I want you to know. A rate is a ratio. What is a unit rate?
Right here.
Joel?
A rate that compares a quantity to one unit of another quantity.
Okay, and what is equivalent rates, Sam?
Rates that have the same unit rate.
Unit rate, very good. So let me put this in simple English for you instead of confusing math. So a rate, think of that as a ratio. So I can write it as a fraction. Any kind of rate I can write as a fraction. Even a whole number, can you write that as a fraction? Yes, because you can write it over 1. A unit rate means you have simplified that fraction to over 1 every single time. Now, it might be a fraction over 1, like it could be 1/4 to 1. Okay, that's still a unit rate. I know that can be a little confusing, but it's comparing one part to one whole. Okay, and then equivalent rates means I can set the two rates equal to each other and solve for missing things. So, let's look at this right here. You pay $350 for every 1/4 ounce of gold. So this whole green bar is a whole 1. So each one part of 4 parts is $350. Okay? And the rate is 1/4 of an ounce per 350. Okay? So you see how the unit rate here, the rate is 350 per 1/4 ounce?
Yep.
We're going to simplify that to be 1 ounce because currently this is 1/4 ounce. So what you would do, well, you don't just add 2 zeros. Okay, because we got to make 1/4 equal 1. So you're going to say 350 over 1/4 equals question mark over 1 and solve for that. And you'll see that the unit rate becomes $1,400 for 1. So saying this whole thing right here is $1,400 for one whole part of gold, one whole ounce of gold. Okay? So down here you can see the different ways they write it. You can have A to B with the colon. You can have it written as a fraction. I prefer the fraction. I think that makes it easier for you guys. Okay? So let's do our example. Oh, gotta move my face. My fake face. All right. Here we go. A nutrition label shows that every 1/4 cup of tuna has 1/2 gram of fat. How many grams of fat are there for every cup of tuna? So looking at this right now, what part of a cup are we looking at of tuna?
1/4.
And what do we want to get? We want to get one whole cup of tuna. So we're going to set our rate and find the unit rate because that will give us per 1 cup. Right now it's per 1/4 cup. You see the difference?
Yep.
So how much fat is per 1/4? We have a 1/2 cup per 1/4. Write this down. You see how we wrote this? We have a half a cup per 1/4. I mean a 1/2 gram of fat per 1/4 cup. That make sense so far? So we need to make this per 1 cup. Okay, so we're going to divide that. 1/2 divided by 1/4 equals 2. So you're going to have 2 grams of fat for every 1 cup of tuna. Okay? Let me show you another way to think about this. Hold on, let me go back. My face is just in the way today. Go over here. Where? Oh, I put it in the way again. Let me get my whiteboard. I want to show you something. All right. So another way to look at this, if I have 1/2 grams of fat compared to 1/4 cup, and I want to make this a unit rate. Okay, so I want to make the bottom number a whole number 1. How do I make 1/4 turn it into a 1? Do you guys know?
No.
Is there something I can multiply here to make this
Yes.
4 over 4?
Yeah.
Multiply it times 4, right? Because that's 4 times 1 and over 4. Right? So this becomes 4 over 4,
One.
which is just 1. And that's the whole point of a unit rate, right? So whatever I do at the bottom, I do at the top. So what's 1/2 times 4?
2.
2.
Is that the same answer that they just got?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, 1 times 4 is 2.
Yes.
1 times
Oh, I
4
see.
and then divided by 2. So you get 4 over 2 technically. Okay? So you can look at when it's a scary looking fraction, you just look at this and say, well, how do I make this fraction a number 1?
Uno.
And you figure out what the denominator is, multiply it times the denominator, which will give it to you over 4 over 4, and that simplifies to 1, and then you do the same thing at the top. Multiply this times 4, which becomes 4 over 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, simplified is 2. So the unit rate here is 2 grams of fat per whole cup of tuna.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Go do your try-its. Just one. All right. A scientist estimates that a jet of liquid iron in the Earth's core travels 9 feet every half hour. How far does the liquid travel in one day? Okay, so you hear 9 feet every half hour. We need to make this a unit rate. This is a rate, right? So how would I put that? Go ahead, Joaquin.
Don't you go like 9, and then you do 1/2 under it?
Yep.
And then for number 1, you go like that. Oh, we're doing the box one?
Well, yeah, in this instance, we're doing the table. But you're exactly right. See how they have 9 to 1/2. So 9 over 1/2. So now we could do it the fast way and just divide that. What is 9 divided by 1/2? Would be 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so 18 for every hour. How many hours are in a day?
24.
So if you did 18 times 24, it'd give you the answer, right?
132.
18. Okay.
4.
That's nice.
Okay, and we did it in our heads. Let's show you how it works on a table. So we have 9 over 1/2, like Joaquin said. Okay, we're going to make it a rate. So you divide it, you get 18 over 1. Or remember the other way I taught you where you can multiply by the denominator here, and we get 18 over 1. And then there's how many hours in a day?
24.
So we're going to multiply this times 24, and you get 432.
I like that over there.
We did it in our heads. It's the same math. Okay? Show your work just by writing down what you did. You don't have to put it in a chart for me.
That one looks hard. It's hard.
No, it's everything we did.
Wait, what?
You had 9 over 1/2. This was you. You said that. And then we divided that and got 18 over 1, right? So I just wrote 18 over 1. It's just in a box.
And then how come it says times by 2?
Because that's the other way, instead of doing 9 divided by 1/2, remember you can take both of these times 2, and it's the same thing.
Oh, no. Okay.
But either way, it works. You do remember how you remember. So if you remember to divide it, then get 18 over 1, that's fine.
Okay.
And then we knew this was for 1 hour, because it was a half an hour. And we multiplied by 24, because there's 24 hours in a day.
Oh, wow.
So the liquid iron travels about 432 feet in one day. This is a word problem. Make sure you label it feet. 432 feet. All right, go do your, let's see, do we have, try it number 2 and self-assess through number 7. Work on that, I will. Okay, oh, they're so happy. You hike up a mountain trail at a rate of 1/4 mile every 10 minutes. Sounds like a fraction, 1/4 to 10. You hike 5 miles every 2 hours on the way down the trail. How much farther do you hike in 3 hours on the way down than in 3 hours on the way up? So this is a multi-part question. We need to find the rate going up the mountain and then the rate going down the mountain, and then multiply them times 3 to figure out which way we went further.
Okay.
Okay? So going up the mountain, what is my rate?
1/4.
Every?
10 minutes.
So we can write that as 1/4 over 10, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they doing this the hard way?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it my way, see what happens. We're going to do it my way, see if we get the right answer. And if I'm wrong, then we'll go and learn their way.
No, I don't want to learn the way.
I said if I get it wrong. I don't particularly think we'll get it wrong.
Okay.
All right, so we have 1/4 to 10. Okay, now we need to make this a unit rate, which means it needs to be over 1, right? So what's 1/4 divided by 10?
1/4 divided by 10.
0.
0.
Hey.
Hey.
See?
1/4 divided by 10 cannot be 0.
1
Thank you.
1/40.
1/40. Okay? So we hike 1/40 of a mile every how many minutes?
10.
10 minutes.
So this is miles per minutes. Okay, and this is going up, right? So I'm going to put up. Excuse me. Thank you. All right. So now let's find the rate going down. How fast were we hiking going down?
Miles. 2 hours.
So 5. Okay, now this is in hours. Make sure you pay attention to that. This is in minutes. This is in hours. So we need to make this a unit rate. 5 divided by 2 is,
Me.
2.5. 2.5.
which is what fraction?
2.5.
Improper fraction.
2.5.
Yeah.
That's not a fraction. 2/5. No.
2 and 1/2.
That's
Make it improper.
2 and 1/2.
Make it improper. Oh, it is improper. It'd be 5/2 again.
2 and 1/2.
Yeah, well, we need to make it over 1.
What? We just changed to 2.5 now.
Do it again and get
Yeah, you're going to get it the same every time. All right, so we'll try the decimal, see if that works. So 2.5 miles, right? Per what?
Hours.
Hours, because that makes a difference. So we went 2.5 miles every 1 hour. That make sense?
Yeah.
So it says, how much farther do you hike in hours on the way down, hours on the way up? So the first thing we need to do is change this to hours. How many minutes are in an hour?
60.
So if we multiply this times 60, will I have the hour?
Yes.
So what's 1/40 times 60?
1.
A big number.
That's 1 and 1/2.
My guy. 1.5.
So 1.5?
Yeah.
So on the way up, I hiked 1.5 miles per hour. And then on the way down, I went 2.5, so I was going faster. Yay. All right, so now on the way up and on the way down is 3 hours. They want to see how much further I walked going down because I'm walking faster, right? So just multiply this times 3 because that's how many hours. What's 1.5 times 3?
1.5.
So on the way down, I went 4.5 miles. Right? Okay, and then we got to multiply this times 3 to go down. Sorry, this was on the way up. What is 2.5 times 3? Okay, shh, guys, you're getting a little loud. Miles. All right, so on the way up, I walked how far?
4.5 miles.
On the way down, I walked how far?
7.5 miles.
And this was all in 3 hours. The question is, how much farther do you hike on the way down than on the way up? So how would I find that?
Oh, subtract.
Subtract. 7.5 minus 4.5.
3.
Yep.
So I walked 3 miles farther on the way down.
You said that yesterday. Ricky, you said that yesterday.
Oh, that.
I did? Yes, at lunch.
Okay, does everybody have this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll give you a second. And then I'm going to go finish clicking on their example and see if they got the same answer.
Do we do a self-assessment?
Hold on, I want to make sure.
Okay.
So, yes, 3 miles farther on the way down than on the way up.
It's so much simpler.
Yeah, I don't like giant boxes. All right, any questions on what you're doing?
There's not a question what I'm doing, but one, can you help us from yesterday's number 7?
Yeah, I'll help you, but get 8 and 9 done first.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so go do your last 2 self-assessments for the day. That's it, right? We have a short assignment today. Yay! Okay, 7th grade, here's number 8. So, we found out a person travels 1/10 of a mile every 15 seconds. 1/10 every 15 seconds. So we set that as a rate, and we found the unit rate, right? Which was what? 1 over 150? Very good. Okay? The other one was 3 over 3/8 over 48, right? And we found the unit rate on that one was what? 1 over 6 what? Try that again. 3/8 divided by 48 is what?
1 and 1/28.
Yep, so somewhere you had something wrong. Okay? Now we're comparing this. This is if they ran 1 mile, they ran 150 seconds. Right? So what do we want to run? How many miles? So I'm going to make this an equivalent ratio, put 5 on top, and I'm solving for what goes on bottom. Well, how do you, if you're solving this, how do I solve for that missing number? Cross multiply and divide. So what's 5 times 150? Huh?
Oh, 750.
750 times 1 is just... Okay, so I ran 750 seconds. Okay, so then down here we're doing the same thing. 1 over 28 equals... Okay, so now can I subtract the difference? What's 750 minus 640?
110.
So the other dude ran 110 seconds faster. 110 seconds faster. Okay? Does that make sense? All right.